So, I'm going to be opening this Farberware high carbon stainless steel knife set.
It's just a pretty general
Yeah, I think
knife set.
you could probably get this at
Walmart.
or Target. I don't know. We got it for our
Wedding
wedding
Like-
3 years ago.
over 3 years ago. Josh is a knife hoarder, so we haven't been able to open this one.
Just take care of my knives, that's all. Alright,
Yep.
so this is the block there. It's pretty sleek. You need a knife to open the knives. I don't know if you can see on there. It says hand wash only, dry immediately. That's super important with knives. Most people don't really care. They just throw them in the dishwasher. But that's probably one of the worst things you can do with your knife.
They'll rust and
It'll rust and dull super easy. So this is just your standard steak knife. Yeah, pretty nice. Serrated, which is good for cutting meats, you know. So this is a utility serrated knife. Personally, I feel like this is a little strange to have a serrated utility knife. I would not use this personally. I like paring knives or just like a slightly larger utility knife, like a paring knife. But I don't know. I guess you could use this to cut vegetables or just meats in general. It's kind of like a larger steak knife. Okay, this is a tiny Santoku knife, utility knife.
also says hand wash.
Also says hand. Oh, I think all of them do, which is great.
Sure.
Farberware definitely knows their stuff. For being a Santoku knife, I don't think a utility knife necessarily applies to this style. But Santoku knives in general, you can see, I don't know if you can see like the divots
Yeah.
in there, but on both sides it's divoted to just prevent sticking to the knife. These are most commonly used to cut vegetables or fruits, especially things that are wet. And supposedly the pockets, the little divots, create pockets of air so that it doesn't stick to your knife. So. Alright, here's a bigger knife. This is just a bread knife, pretty standard. Again, this is a heavier serrated edge than this one. This one has a heavier serrated edge on it, meaning the serrations are farther apart than this one, and then versus like a steak knife. So you can kind of see the difference there. The top one, obviously bread knife. Don't use it for anything else because it's meant for cutting bread, especially like warm bread, which is good. Scratch that. Don't cut warm bread. These are supposed to be kitchen shears, but they look more like fabric scissors to me, honestly. Kitchen shears are really good actually for when you're cutting like whole animals, or especially like chickens, because a lot of poultry, they have those awful sinews in the legs and stuff like that. So kitchen shears are really good for stuff like that where you don't want to get your hands and a sharp knife in there. So you can also use it to cut small vegetables. This is a tiny paring knife. This is like a legit paring knife. So a paring knife versus a utility knife. This is a good example. A paring knife has a curved edge. Kind of goes up at the end here, but the tip still stays down. So that's mostly used for peeling fruits, vegetables, cutting small items that are like in your hand that you're gonna like peel, you know, kind of against the grain. So this is a pretty standard slicing knife. Will just do anything that you need to slice. So like slicing meats.
Vegetables.
Or vegetables.
Fruits.
Or this is like probably the most common knife that people use besides the chef's knife, which is next. This is a special, so I guess this is kind of like a large utility knife. It's pretty general all around slicing, just whatever you want to slice it up with it. That's a really good length. This is a 10-inch chef's knife. It's like perfect length, I feel like. A lot of people do like to go to an 8-inch because they're easier to handle. I would not go more than a 10 though. This is like seriously your all-purpose knife. You could do everything and anything with this, from deboning a chicken to carving up some steaks from a roast to chopping onions or carrots or pitting cherries, like whatever you want. Like you could do anything with this.
So I'll add in here that you can probably tell what Josh's favorite knife is, but we'll talk about that more in
the
another
next video.
Hey, is that the whole thing?
Wait, and then
Oh, there's one more.
this is a honer. How do you explain honing? Honing is taking off the small broken edges of your knife that you can't see but make your knife dull. And this just kind of cleans up your knife. That's what a honer is. It cleans up your knife.
So this is different from sharpening.
Totally different from sharpening. And again, in another video, the next, or maybe 2 videos down the line, I'll show you how to use this and explain it in greater detail.
Perfect. Is that it?
That's it.
And there you go. Looks beautiful.